Hey everybody, today is Wednesday, November 30th, 2022, and we're here at the Collegeville Shopping Center in Collegeville, Pennsylvania to do an update on yesterday's video where I talked about the sad and tragic death of Lisa and Devon Manderach, who were murdered on September 10th, 1995. They simply went out to do a little shopping. They went to a children's clothing store called Your Kidz, spelled with a Z, Your Kidz Mine, and they never were to return home. That actual shopping center where that clothing store resided was here, again at the Collegeville Shopping Center. And today, we're gonna take a look at where that store once stood. Pretty disturbing that right now I am walking through the parking lot where Lisa and Devon Manderach drove through. They came right through here as well. Again, on September 10th, 1995, just came out here to do some shopping. Lisa wanted to pick up some new clothing for her daughter, her 18-month-old daughter, Devon, and they were never to return home because of a disturbed man, Caleb Fairley, who decided to take it upon himself to murder both Lisa and Devon Manderach. Definitely crazy and disturbing, terrible, horrible, awful story. Crazy that it took place here in Collegeville, Pennsylvania. This is not a place that's known for its murders or its crazy crime stories. Back in 1995, one of them definitely happened right here. So again, to reiterate, back in 1995, September 10th, 1995, Lisa and Devon Manderach came out here to do some shopping at the Your Kidz Mine children's store where Caleb Fairley, the son of the owners of the store, was working behind the counter. And when he realized that he and Lisa and Devon were the only ones left in the store, he locked the door and took advantage of Lisa. He went after her, he attacked her. She put up a fight, and when she did start to put up a fight and didn't give in to his sexual assault, he then murdered her. From what I read, he actually broke her ribs and then choked her to death, and then continued to actually have his way with her after she was dead. And all of this while her 18-month-old child looked on in terror as all this was happening. And then after it did happen, he went after Devon, the 18-month-old child, went after her as well and murdered her. And all of that happened right here where the H&R Block now stands. This is the location of what once was Your Kidz, again spelled with a Z, K-I-D-Z, Your Kidz Mine children's store. Pretty crazy that this happened right here. As you can see, this office is closed, but we can still help. And right inside here is where that murder took place. It's crazy to be standing right here where Lisa walked up, opened this door, went inside to do some shopping, and then never was to return. Absolutely crazy that I'm looking inside here. How many times, I don't live too far away from here. How many times have I driven through the shopping center? How many times have I driven right past this store? Hundreds and hundreds of times I've been out here, and I've driven right past all of this. And I never knew that right here, right inside this very store in 1995, I lived out here at the time. I was a child at the time in 1995. I guess I would say maybe 95, I would have been, I don't know, I can't do math. I guess I would have been like 13 at the time in 1995. So as a young teenager, as a preteen, this took place. I did not even know. And then for years to come, coming out to the shopping center, doing shopping out here. There's some places down there I do some shopping. There used to be a GameStop down there I used to do some shopping at. So many times coming into this shopping center, I never knew that right here, right in the store, right here, is where those horrific murders took place. Pretty crazy to think about the people who once worked in here. Again, the office is now closed. I don't know if it's closed forever or just closed at the moment, but the sign does say it's closed. And at one point, there were H&R representatives working inside here. Did they know? I wonder if they knew what took place. I wonder if they knew about the murder that took place inside this building right here. Can't imagine working at my cubicle, doing my job, and knowing that happened, knowing that perhaps right where I'm sitting, right where my desk is located, where I'm filling out paperwork or I'm taking phone calls or doing whatever my job is, to know that right here may have been where a murder took place, where Caleb Fairley murdered Lisa and Devon Manderach in 1995. That would have been a crazy thing to think. But it all took place right here, right inside this building. Absolutely just nuts and crazy and sad and terrifying and just horrible to think. To think that somebody could actually do that. To think that could happen to anybody, that you could just be out simply shopping. You're coming out here with no other intent than to pick up some new clothing for your 18-month-old child, your 18-month-old daughter. That's all you want to do, pick up some new clothing for her. And because a psychopath, a 21, I believe she was 21 years old at the time, a 21-year-old with disturbing thoughts, who apparently had already had one issue with sexual assault. I guess why there was somebody jogging, he had gone up and pinched her butt and said some awful things to her and said things he wanted to do to her, and he had an assault record for this, not on Lisa, on a completely different person. But he already had this issue, and he had other issues as well. And again, his upbringing wasn't great, and his household wasn't all that great. He just did not have a very good upbringing, and because of this, he had this just disturbing ideas and thoughts going through his head. He locked this door, probably not this same door. They've actually done some renovations out here. The walls used to be kind of like textured with these like ridges, almost look like bricks. Now it's like stucco. They've changed the facade around a little bit, so I'm sure this door is not the same. But just to think that they went in here to do some shopping, Fairley saw he was alone, locked the door, and then attacked her. And when she did not give in to his sexual assault, and she fought him, she scratched his face. His face was all completely just scratched up and bloody and disgusting. He then broke her ribs, beat her, and then choked her to death, and then had his way with her. And then murdered an 18-month-old Devon, murdered her as well by also choking her. And then he went and dumped the bodies. Afterwards, he actually went to a heavy metal concert. That is where he went afterwards. So he did all this stuff, cleaned up after what happened, because there was some blood, there was some hair. He vacuumed, he did this cleaning. And then he was like, all right, I'm gonna go dump the bodies now. Dump one of the bodies at the Valley Forge National Park. And then he also dumped one of the bodies behind a workout center, a gym, and then went to a heavy metal concert afterwards. When he was actually questioned about what had happened, he had said that there was a scuffle behind the building. He said behind the building he went to dump some trash, and there was a bunch of people out there trying to beat up a guy, and he broke up the fight. And then in that fight, he got his face all scratched up, and then he changed his story. And this is where things kind of got like, oh, something's going on. He changed his story by saying like, oh no, I got these scratches by being in the mosh pit at the heavy metal concert. And he actually showed up to the police station with the makeup on his face, and they were like, why are you wearing makeup? Take it off. And that's when they saw he had scratches, and they started questioning him. And he apparently may have also almost got away with the murder, but he decided to confess and show where the bodies were, as long as the prosecutors said, we will take the death penalty off the table. We will not give you the death penalty. We will not put you to death if you just show us where the bodies are. And that was his plea bargain. He said, okay, fine. But supposedly they had no real secure evidence on him, and he may have actually walked free had he not said okay to the plea bargain and showed them where the body was. So his kind of, again, he was disturbed. His mistake, his stupidity led, I don't want to say stupidity because it's good stupidity. It was a very dumb thing for a murderer to do, but a very good thing for those looking for the actual bodies and wanting to, and those who want to see him incarcerated and for him to get his sentence. He actually has 2 life sentences. He will never be out of prison. He is in prison for life because of what he did. But anyway, dumb mistake on his part by giving up where the bodies were. But because he did that, he was actually sentenced to 2 life sentences. And he is now in prison for life. Again, all of the murders took place right here in this old H&R Block, or this H&R Block in this store right here. That in 1995 was a children's clothing store. But all right, guys, pretty crazy story. Just want to bring you out here, show you where this once was. Actually took me a little effort to figure out where the store was located. I knew it was somewhere in the shopping center. I just wasn't entirely sure which actual store it was located in. And then after doing some research, found out right here at the H&R Block. It's right here is where that store once stood. Your Kidz Mine children's clothing store. Where in September 10th, 1995, Lisa and Devon Manderach were murdered, brutally murdered, choked to death. Just absolutely crazy. But all right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. So as always, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Also check down below for links to Patreon. If you guys do become a patron, I will send you a postcard every single month from the road. Also check down below for links to Spreadshirt. If you guys do that, you will get a spread. You will get a T-shirt, a retro rest stop T-shirt. I'm trying to do the outro, but all I'm thinking about is what happens right here, and it's just, as somebody who has a wife and a child, it's a disturbing, terrible thought. But anyways, check down below for all the different links. Like I said, if you guys do become a patron or you do pick up a shirt, it does help put gas in Vanabella and in Pumpkin, so we can come out to interesting places like this. Sometimes we'll talk about some horrible things, but still an interesting place like this we can come out to. So if you guys want to help out, that'd be great. Also check down below for all the other links as well, and whatever, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you guys do subscribe or you are subscribed, I will see you in tomorrow's video. I'm gonna leave now because my brain's thinking terrible, awful things that I don't want to think about. What happened here is just terrible. So all right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you tomorrow if you hit that subscribe button. All right, bye.